Hi, Genevieve Jacobs from Region Media with this week's news wrap, which finds us at the National Archives. Now, when you were a kid and you went on a family holiday, where did you stay? What about the absolute thrill of the mid-century motel? I can remember being a little kid from Western New South Wales and the absolute magic of that hutch that delivered the food in the mornings. Extraordinary stuff. The National Archives has a wonderful exhibition coming up, Reception This Way, a sentimental journey with none other than Tim Ross, perhaps well known to you as comedian and radio host, but also a mad architecture fan. Tim, what are you doing in this exhibition about motels?
Well, it's so exciting. I mean, I love the National Archives, and because I'm an architecture and design nut. A few years ago, I decided to write a live show called Motel because I'd written a song with Kit Warhurst, who's my best mate and performance partner, and called Motel. And then I had all these images from the archives in the live show, and then I put out a book and I released the book with the help from the archives, partnering with the archives. And then they sort of said, it'll be good to do an exhibition. And I said, that would be fabulous. And I'm so passionate about bringing Australian stories to life. And I love the archive, connecting memories to people. And I think, as you talk about your holiday and your memories are the same as my memories. And that's what the exhibition's about.
And look, there is a book to go with it as well. Fantastic images in here of Australia on holidays, full of the most spectacular mid-century architecture and furniture, and motels with names like the El Dorado and the Californian. We are in the middle of a massive craze for mid-century architecture and design, aren't we?
Oh, very much so. And I think those ideas from the time are still very relevant. And for many people, say, in the 1950s, 60s and 70s, the motels were so exciting, and it came before the houses for many people. So if you're a kid and you went to a motel, even if it was a motel in the 60s and it was in the 80s, that architecture still was very exciting for people. And certainly that was my situation of going to these 1950s and 60s motels, 20, 30 years after they were made, but they were still incredibly new and incredibly exciting.
Yeah, and look, they had a pool, they had all sorts of exciting things. There was a restaurant, it was a motel where I very first ate fish as a kid from Western New South Wales. And full of these fabulous images that sort of infer that rather than being sort of places of convenience, that motels are glamorous, and they're about this very exciting post-war life in which there'll be swimming pools and cocktails and movie stars just around the corner.
Well, that idea of, does it have a pool, Dad, when you were turning up and to stay at a place? In many ways, it was Americana coming to our shores, and it was like being able to walk into the set of an Elvis movie. And I think that's what people relate to, that there's two sides of it. Yes, there's the nostalgia side of it too, but there's the aspirational sense that somehow we were doing exciting things. We were coming of age after the war, and, the rise of kidney-shaped pools. And, I love that. It's this story about being, able to eat at the restaurants. They don't exist so much in the motels anymore, but yeah, the idea that you could park your car right at the door, put your bags inside, and then walk across, and there might be a little bar there or a Chinese restaurant on site where you could, have some lamb cutlets or something. Absolutely fantastic.
Not only kidney-shaped pools, kidney-shaped tables in the rooms as well. So the exhibition is not opening until the 27th of May, so we're forecasting this, building a bit of excitement, but there's quite a lot happening on that weekend, isn't there?
Yeah, so we're bringing back my live show Motel, so we'll be here at the Archives for 2 nights, 2 shows, where I'll be bringing some of those slides and the stories and the songs to life. So it's a really great celebration of the exhibition, and also I love performing live, and I really love this show. I haven't done it for a couple of years, and it's great to bring it back.
And lots of reasons to come to the archives to dig up your history, your community's history, the social history that's embedded in the way that we all live our everyday lives. And of course that becomes the artefact of history, essentially. So the exhibition opens on the 27th of May, runs until the 4th of September. I think lots of people like us will have very nostalgic... I'm getting excited just thinking about it. And it's 2022 and staying in a motel should not be as thrilling as all of that. But I think this is absolutely evidence too of digging deep into the collection and finding some things that are just magic to unearth. And look out for more about this particular exhibition. Everyone in Canberra who remembers the old motels of Canberra and the signs, the ideas that are embedded in them will love this one. Also making news this week on the Riot Act, we've had the great Senate candidates debate, and we're the only people I think to have got Senator Katie Gallagher, Senator Zed Seselja and 4 other candidates, David Pocock, Kim Rubenstein, Janara Goring from the Greens and James Savalides from the United Australia Party in the same room. We absolutely put them to the test on things like the cost of living, housing, their preferences and their value to the electorate. You can see the whole thing on the site. We've also got the story of Lila Walto and her prison break escapade. She's pleaded guilty to busting her fiancé out of the Alexander McConaughey Centre by stealing a Jeep and ramming the prison. It's quite a yarn, Tim. It's quite a yarn. Anyway, Lila has entered a guilty plea to that one. We've been talking about the perennial issues with the ACT schools, not enough students in the Tuggeranong area. Nappy Valley, of course, has grown up, a huge squeeze on schools in the north. And we're also talking about, and you'll like this one, suburbal, not Wordle, but suburbal. So someone in Canberra has invented a game where you've got to guess the suburb by its outline, and with every guess, you get proximity to wherever it is. So, 3.5 kilometres from Lynham northeast, that kind of thing. Wow. So, oh yeah, it is a goodie. You will love it. It's fantastic. And look, all that and more on the website. We've got full election coverage coming your way, obviously, before the 21st of May, and the constant conversation we have every day about great big Canberra ideas. There's the Daily Digest that drops into your inbox every Thursday, and a newsletter. So join in the great big Canberra conversation we're having. I'm Genevieve Jacobs. This is Tim Ross. And off to the kidney-shaped pool for a cocktail. This is Region Media.